Good morning, I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is courtroom 1, session 1. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Adam Scholl with the Office of Public Defender.
Liz Whittleton for the state. Thank you very much. Good morning, your name?
AJ Brooks.
Mr. Brooks, you're here 19 CF 14992. You were arrested for possession of synthetic cannabinoids. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $500, sir. Thank you.
This way, sir, this way. All around you.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Irving Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you're here in 19 CF 14976. You were arrested for petty theft with 2 prior convictions, obstruction by false information, and providing false ID to law enforcement. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to the Walmart at 3101 West Princeton Street. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 and 3 is $100. I'm revoking both of the bonds, and 19 CF 13823 and 19 MM 7756. Both of those will be set at none. Thank you, sir.
Say that what?
This way, sir.
Okay, well,
Do you have a question, sir?
yes.
What's your question?
Okay, miss, I'm not on bond on two, I'm on bond on 1 case and I have a court date next week.
I have 2 out on bond
Oh,
forms.
no, okay, miss, the misdemeanor that as of September, that was, I was never arrested, that was a come to court, and I went to court. The one that's, I bonded out on, I go to court next week for. So,
Oh, okay. Well, then if you're not on bond on the misdemeanor, then there wouldn't be anything to revoke, but I'm still revoking the felony case. They're all petty thefts.
okay, so I can't bond out?
No, sir.
This way.
Miss,
Thank
I have court dates.
I understand, but you're now again accused of committing another petty theft and you're out. You have 2 pending petty thefts.
No, but I'm saying,
That's why.
it.
Thank
Come
you.
on, Come on, come on.
well, I can't talk to the
No,
judge?
no,
We're done, sir.
We're done.
Thank you.
Come on.
We're done.
Evil white devil bitch.
Oh, really? Oh, don't take him too far. Don't take him too far. No.
Evil white devil bitch.
I'll talk to him at the end.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, sir, good morning.
Yeah,
Tell me your name, please.
Keith Thomas Watkins.
Mr. Watkins, this is 19 MO 1778. You were arrested for open container. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Did you want to resolve your case this morning?
I couldn't hear you.
Do you want to resolve your case this morning?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, you said Mr.
Watkins?
Watkins.
You'd probably be in the move up. It's a county ordinance, so I don't know if yours are in the same order, but it might be toward the back.
Okay, give me 1 minute to find it real quick. Keith?
Yes.
Okay.
And Ms. Guadalupe, did you relate offers? Are you prepared to make offers on the cases?
I have not, Your Honor, no.
That's all right. Mr. Watkins, sir, did you want to resolve your case this morning?
I can't. No,
Yes, sir. Okay, I'll need you to sign the plea form, please.
This way. The X right here.
right here.
Did you appoint our office, Your Honor?
I did. Mr. Watkins, did you read the plea form, sir, before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any questions about anything on the form?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No. Not today.
All right, sir. I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You will have to pay court costs. Those will be due by October 28th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir.
Ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Kritzia Costa Hernandez.
Ma'am, this is 19 MN 8769. You were arrested for resisting officer without violence and petty theft. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There's probable cause for each of the offenses. Mr. Scholl, I'm not going to resolve her case. It's a petty theft, and that's an enhanceable offense.
Yes,
And I know
ma'am.
the state usually wants time to either take a look at that or decide what how they're gonna potentially charge that. I'm gonna stay the bonds on each count at 500 on count 1 and 100 on count 2. I'm not gonna take any action on 19 CF 11762. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Brian Bowley.
Mr. Foley, you're here 19 MM 8765. You were arrested for petty theft and providing false ID to law enforcement. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is going to be 100. Your bond on count 2 is 500.
You think I can resolve this today?
You can't, sir, simply because the count 1 is a petty theft, and that's an enhanceable offense. And so I don't know how the state wants to proceed, and they're not making any offers today, so I'm not gonna be able to resolve that for you. All right, thank you.
I showed him the paperwork then.
Good morning.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. My name is Frederick Davis.
Yes, Mr. Davis.
I really do need support.
Mr. Davis, you're here in 19 CF 14940. You were arrested for resisting officer, fleeing and eluding with lights and sirens, and driving while license suspended as a habitual traffic offender. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
Robin, do you need the driver record? I'll turn it on real quick for you.
No, that's okay, Robin, I have it.
Okay.
Bond on count 1 is $2,500, bond on count 2 is $150. Thank you, Mr. Frederick.
Kevin Hernandez, refuse your honor.
He refused, okay. And that is 19 CF 14954. I'm finding a waiver of Mr. Hernandez's appearance based upon his refusal to come to court. Mr. Hernandez was arrested for armed kidnapping, grand theft, third-degree motor vehicle, possession of a firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon, 2 counts, carrying a concealed firearm, and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause for all of the offenses. I will appoint the public defender to represent him. Ms. Guadalupe, did you want to be heard with respect to bond on count 1?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would argue for no bond.
Okay. Are you asking the court to find that there's evident or presumption free?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And would that be based upon the information contained in the sworn probable cause arrest affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Schultz?
Yes, Your Honor, just a few comments. First, there are no independent witnesses outside the alleged victim in regards to the kidnapping. Also, too, in the affidavit, it does discuss about stopping at a Pizza Hut. There's no information where the police officer stopped and obtained any video or anything to that effect. So looking at the evidence in totality, there's more questions at this point in time. So I ask that the bond be set at a reasonable amount of $50,000, Your Honor.
I do find that there is proof evident or presumption great based upon the information that's contained in the sworn probable cause affidavit. Bond on count 1 will remain at none. Bond on count 2 is going to be $5,000. Bond on count 3 is $150. Bond on count 4 is $150. Bond on count 5 is $150. Bond on count 6 is $100. He is not to possess any weapons or any firearms, and he's not to have any contact with Jessica Webster. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. McAlfresh, you, sir, are here in 19 CF 14944. You were arrested for aggravated battery with a weapon. There's probable cause. I'll appoint a public defender. I'm going to stay the bond at $3,500. And then I'm going to revoke your status in 19 CF 8210. Mr. McAlfresh will be set at no bond. Good morning, your name, sir?
Joseph Garrick.
Sir, this is 19 CF 14968. You were arrested for attempted homicide, petty theft, and criminal mischief. There is probable cause for each of the offenses.
Your Honor, if I may, on the probable cause for the petty theft and criminal mischief,
Okay.
in my reading of it, I see nowhere there's witness to actual events that occurred for the damage of the mailbox and also taking the necklace. So it was two individuals alleged victims of the attack. They say that's what they saw when they came back, that the mailbox was damaged, and also they say that there's a necklace. At the point in time when Klein was taken into custody, they found no necklace on him, and nor did he say anything to the police officers.
Okay. State?
Your Honor, I would ask that just based on the affidavit and just based on the witness observation that the bonds be set for counts 2 and 3.
Ms. Schultz, I do find that there is probable cause. There's enough facts in the affidavit that a reasonable person would conclude that the crimes have been committed and that they were committed by Mr. Garrett. So there is probable cause for all three of the offenses. Ms. Guadalupe, is it your position that count 1 is a punishable by life felony?
Yes, Your Honor, and just based on the affidavit, we feel that we've met our burden of proof evident presumption grade, so the state would be asking for a no bond on count 1.
Your Honor, if I may, at the arrest affidavit in the last paragraph, the last page, specifically there's an independent witness, Yolanda, who says, quote, she saw Joseph and Christopher wrestling on the ground, which in itself, from the arrest affidavit, shows that there's mutual combat from those terms. And she also says she did not remember who was choking who. She said this is all she knew about the incident. So from this standpoint, just taking that last paragraph in itself shows that we have, again, more questions to ask from an independent witness that was actually with the two alleged victims. So it was their, if we look at the arrest affidavit, that's their witness. They're with those two.
I would agree that there's not proof evident or presumption grade based upon the facts that are contained in this one probable cause affidavit. I will set bond on count 1 at $50,000, bond on count 2 is $150, bond on count 3 is $150. I'm revoking the bond in 19 CF 11752. That bond will be set at none. Sir, you are not to return to 18 West Maple Street. You are not to have any contact with Angela Opsahl. Or Christopher, the alleged victim, Christopher, I don't see his last name.
Bentley.
And you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Crystal Harvey.
Ms. Harvey, this is 19 CF 14971. You were arrested for aggravated battery with a weapon. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to the Family Dollar at 7113 South Orange Blossom Trail. You're not to have any contact with Ismael Perez. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Your
Yes,
bond is $1,500, ma'am. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, you said the bond would be $1,500.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, sir?
Deshaun Lewis.
Mr. Lewis, you're here 19 CF 14964. You were arrested for possession of a concealed weapon or firearm by a convicted felon and possession of ammunition by a convicted felon. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Bond on count 1 is $5,000, on count 2 is $150. You also have an out-of-county on-view violation of probation out of Lake County based upon the new law offenses in which we just discussed. There is probable cause. Bond in that matter will be set at none. Are there 2 cases for the DOP? Is that what you're saying, or just the one? All right. All right. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Your name?
Javon Mason.
Mr. Mason, you are here in 19 CF 14980. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any, you are not to have any contact with Destiny Brand. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Your bond is $5,000. I'm revoking the bonds in 19 MM 2457 and 19 CF 2367. Those will be set at none.
Your Honor,
Yes,
I'm sorry, those case numbers are the ones that are revoking? I have no information on those
they're
charges.
Osceola County.
Oh, the Osceola ones?
Yeah,
Okay,
It should be faxed, it shouldn't be as on
okay.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Brittany Miller.
Ms. Miller, this is 19 CF 14972. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $1,000, ma'am. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances, and you'll be randomly tested through pretrial release. I'm not going to take any action on 19 CF 13684 at this time. Thank you.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Morning.
Good morning.
Kevin Moore.
Mr. Moore, sir, you're here in 19 CF 14974. You were arrested for carjacking. There is probable cause.
I think it's a misunderstanding.
Well, Mr. Moore, that may be true, but today's not the day to tell me the facts of the case, okay? I've appointed the lawyer to represent you. You are not to have any contact with Anna Williams. You're not to return to the Raceway Motel. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. I'm going to set your bond at $10,000. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
LaShonda Morgan.
Ms. Morgan, you were here in 19 CF 3185 because you failed to appear for pretrial on August 6th of this year. Your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender if they weren't previously appointed, and you'll have to have your lawyer file a motion in Division 17 regarding a bond. Thank you, ma'am.
Chauncey Redding refused.
19 CF 14977, Mr. Redding, I'm finding a waiver of his appearance based upon his refusal. He was arrested for burglary of a dwelling and possession of methamphetamine. Don't have probable cause at this time based upon the affidavit. Ms. Guadalupe, it looks like it didn't print, if you look at the affidavit.
Oh,
So would you
So-
want to request 24 hours?
yes, Your Honor, please, so that I can contact the officer and see if we can find the probable cause.
Sure. So at this time, I'll stay the bond on each count, give the state 24 hours to provide the probable cause information. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Stephanie Rodriguez.
Ms. Rodriguez, this is 18 CF 5625. You failed to appear for a plea hearing on September 24th of 2019. I'll appoint the public defender if they were not previously appointed. At this time, your bond is set at none.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Your name?
Kane Popoff?
Mr. Ramon Velez Perez?
Medically
All right, we'll reset. Actually, Mr. Scholl, I'm going to appoint your office. It's a failure to appear. Do you want to just waive his appearance and I'll do his IA?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. That's 19 CF 6336. Mr. Velez Perez failed to appear for pretrial on September 26th of this year. I'll I'll appoint the public defender, and his bond is set at none. Mr. Papa, sir. You were here in 19 M 479 for assault on a firefighter or EMT. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Your bond is $500. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Nicholas Trigno.
Sir, this is 19 M 8761. You were arrested for petty theft. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. So you're not to return to City Walk at Universal Studios or any other Universal properties. I will release you on your own recognizance at this time. You're going to be given a court date when you leave the jail. Make sure that you keep that court date and you return to court. Otherwise, there will be a warrant issued for your arrest and it will likely have no bond. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Listen,
So your last name's Arzon?
huh?
What's your name?
Radamus Arson. My
Okay.
last name Arzon.
Thank you, sir. You were here for an out-of-county warrant from Osceola County. Your bond, it's related to an aggravated battery. Your bond is $5,000. If you are unable to post that bond, Osceola County will come and pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there.
If I was to post the bond, what would happen? They'll still come pick me up regardless, right?
No, you'll be released.
Also, if I bond out from here, they'll release me?
Correct.
All right, no
He
problem.
doesn't have any other holds, right?
Yes, no action.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take any action on the attaching tag.
All right.
Good morning, your name?
Cody Bohannon.
Sir, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County related to a violation of probation on a reckless driving. Your bond is set at none. Osceola County will, or Seminole County will come and pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get there.
You want to take no action on his Willis?
Yeah, I'm not gonna take any action on that case. Good morning, ma'am. Tell me your name, please.
Lashana Bolden.
Ms. Bolden, you were here in 19 M 01776 for open container. There is probable cause. Did you want to resolve your case this morning, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, could you sign the plea form, please?
Did you appoint our officer?
I didn't. She didn't fill out the form. Ms. Bolden, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes.
Did you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, I do.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court
No.
today? All right, ma'am, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days? 3 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 3 days' time served. You do have to pay court costs, which will be due by October 28th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Okay.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, ma'am.
Your name?
Nolly Edwards.
Edwards?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I don't have your paperwork.
Needs a reset, Your Honor.
Oh, I set it to the side. Mr. Edwards, it appears that you're being represented by Ms. Dickerson, so your case has been reset for this afternoon. I'll see you at 1 o'clock. Thank you, sir.
Was that Charles Edwards?
No, Nally Edwards, right? Yes. Good morning, your name?
Good morning, Francisco Moya.
How about Mr. George Knox? Oh, okay.
Francisco.
And you're Mr. Moya?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Moya, you are here for an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County related to violation of probation on possession of cannabis less than 20 grams and possession of drug paraphernalia. At this time, you have no bond. Seminole County will come and pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there. We've passed? How long has it been?
I've been here for 5 days.
And do we have any, contact with them?
We tried to have them take them yesterday, and they said they didn't have enough restraints. They have not scheduled them. So
All right.
they've been here 5 times since then.
Okay, so Mr. Moyer, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. Did the public defender represent you on the underlying case, or are they representing you in Seminole County?
For that charge,
Yeah,
I had a lawyer, but he dropped me.
okay. So what I would do if I were you is I would get in contact with a lawyer today regarding this case and let them know what happened, because just because I'm releasing you
Yeah.
doesn't mean you don't have the violation of probation, you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I
Okay.
understand that.
All right, thank you.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Muriel Gonzalez? Can we just do the IA on the medical, on the county? Okay. That way, they can come pick her up once she gets released. All right, that's the out-of-county warrant from Polk County on Muriel Gonzalez. She has no bond, so we'll have Polk County come and pick her up.
Is this for, Your Honor, for Gonzalez?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so there's that. Looks like all we have is the 33-day. State, are you ready or do you need a minute?
No, I'm ready, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, do I just say the defendant's name or case number?
I will call each one up by case number and name, and then you'll just tell me if it should be granted or denied.
Okay.
Okay?
Your Honor, this is case 2019 CF 013476. Ms. Sia, Teresa Sia, on 10/25/19, a notice of non-filing was filed, and the state asked that it should be granted.
So, Ms. Conley, I have them in a specific order here, so I'll call the case,
Okay.
and then you'll just tell me what
What was filed and,
what
okay.
was filed. Yeah. So I have 19 CF 13523 Joshua Alt.
Joshua Holt. One moment. I'm sorry, Your Honor, for some reason I can't find Mr. Joshua Holt. Give me
It was on
one.
the add-on docket.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor, yeah. A notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/2019, and the state asked that it should be granted.
The notice of non-filing was filed on the 25th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. That will be granted. 19 CF 13476, Gregory Nicholas Jr.
A notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19, and the state asked that it be granted.
That will be granted. 19 CF 13543, Samantha Hayes.
Samantha Hayes, one moment. A notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19, and the state asked that it be granted.
That will be granted. 19 CF 13591, Tashana Harris.
And information was filed on 10/25/19. Yes.
19 CF 13532, Julian Dembois.
A notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19, and the state asked that it be granted.
19 MM 7889, Dan B.
A notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19, and the state asked that it be granted.
19 CF 13225, Bruce Bland.
A notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19, the state asked that it be granted.
That will be granted. 19 MM 7858, Rebecca Robbie.
Notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19, the state asked that it be granted.
19 CF 13262, Gregory Charles.
Your Honor, I have a note here that this case was consolidated with case CF 19-132610, and state asked that it be denied.
That will be denied. And then information was filed in the other case? The case that it was consolidated with?
Yes, Your Honor, an information was filed on, 10/25/19.
Thank you. 19 CF 13262, Gregory Charles.
Is that, that's the same case, right?
No, we just did, this
There-
is 13261.
See, that's the companion case. I have here that an information was filed.
Yes, so that will be denied.
Okay.
19 CF 13590, Cassandra Ganaway.
Notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19. State asked that it be granted.
19 CF 13574, Cassandra Ganaway.
Notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19. State asked that it be granted.
19 CF 13615, Sean Christensen.
Notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19. The state asked that it be granted.
19 CF 13474, Demetria Wright.
On 10/24/19, a no information notice was filed, and the state asked that it be granted.
19 CF 13450, Andrew Pervinas.
A notice of non-filing was filed on 10/24/19, and the state asked that it be granted.
19 CF 13267, Rodney Willington Jr.
And information was filed on 10/25/19.
That'll be denied. 19 CF 7678, Demetrius Sewell.
And information was filed on 10/25/19.
That'll be denied. 19 CF 13564, Earl Denmark.
A notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19.
That will be granted. 19 CF 8820, Jordan Jadon.
Notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19.
That will be granted. 19 CF 13545, Michael Florent.
Notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19.
That will be granted. 19 CF 13416, Christopher Alizé.
Notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19.
That will be granted. Andres Vega, 19 CF 13377.
What was the name, Your Honor?
Andres Vega.
Notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/2019.
That'll be granted. 19 MN 7913, Calvin Reese.
And information was filed on 10/25/19.
That'll be denied. 19 MM 7810, Jake Smoot.
No information notice was filed on 10/25/19.
19 MM 7806, Jake Smoot.
And information was filed on 10/25/19.
That'll be denied. 19 MM 7896, Josu Rivera.
Notice of non-filing was filed on 10/25/19.
That'll be granted. 19 MM 7691, Anthony Williams.
Your Honor, I'm currently waiting on documentation for this case. Can I request to reset this for the afternoon session?
Sure. I'm gonna recall 19 CF 80.
Good words, Judge, but I do have some mental health issues, and I do have some other problems, and I was trying to get somebody to listen to me, and it appeared that no one would listen to me, including my lawyer and you. And so just out of frustration, I said some things out of anger that I didn't necessarily mean and stuff like that. I was trying to explain to you that the charge it's no prior history for, and I was trying to explain that to you, and I didn't realize that maybe I'm not in the position to say that now, and I was just trying to get you to listen to me, and it just appeared that you didn't want to hear anything I said. And even when the lawyer was back there this morning, I was trying to talk to him, and it appeared that he didn't have time for me either. So I just out of frustration, I just felt ignored, and I'm sorry, Judge. I didn't know. I just felt ignored. I was trying to get your attention to try so you could listen to me, but nobody listens to me and stuff like
So, Mr.
that.
Burns, I'm going to stop right there because we have a completely different recollection of how that went down.
Well,
No, let me talk.
okay,
You were talking to your lawyer after I'd revoked the bonds,
okay.
okay? From where I was sitting, you seemed to understand what was going on.
Well,
And then
okay.
you needed to ask a question, and I even asked you, right? I didn't let them take you out. I said, do you have a question?
Right.
I asked you specifically
Okay.
to allow you an opportunity to ask me a question. I did listen to you. And then I explained to you twice why it was that your bonds were being revoked. It was because you were out on bond on 2 cases for petty theft.
Okay.
You were allegedly just arrested for committing another one, and you're on probation.
Okay,
I explained that to you.
I'm not.
You listen to me.
Okay.
You didn't seem to like my answer.
Okay,
And you got angry and you yelled at me and called me very profane names.
okay. I'm not out on bond on 2 cases. I'm out on bond on. Okay.
Let me rephrase it. You have 2 pending petty theft cases.
Okay,
Whether you're on bond or not on bond, you have 2 pending petty theft cases.
okay.
And you allegedly committed another one. That is why your bond was revoked. So I appreciate your apology, but everyone in this courtroom gave you an opportunity to speak this morning and explained everything to you.
Okay, Judge, you said you said everyone.
Correct. Your lawyer took time to talk to you. I took time to talk to you. You were given a chance to be heard.
Hey, Judge. Okay, so, but since then, Judge, some things have better happened in my life, and so to have me on the no bond status, it would prevent me an opportunity to try to better, like, I just got a job with the passing out petitions, but I got the job Friday and I get arrested Sunday, so I wanted to let you know that also, that, okay, if I can be given a bond, then I could fight these cases from the street rather than being in here and fight them. That's what I was trying to get across to you, and you wouldn't hear me.
All right, Mr. Johnson, thank you. Mr. Johnson, I do not find that your explanation is sufficient. The court does hereby find you in contempt, and I'm going to adjudicate you guilty of direct criminal contempt. Prior to sentencing you, do you have any evidence that would excuse, further evidence that would excuse your behavior before I pronounce your sentence?
Well, Judge, again, I'm sorry, I do apologize, but maybe because I don't understand things like you do. I do have some issues, so I didn't understand. I didn't have an understanding like how you, I mean, I didn't have an understanding how you're saying that I had every chance. I didn't feel I had every chance to be heard. I just felt I was being ignored and not being heard. So, Judge, I can't explain to you that I do have some issues that make me, they say because I am mildly retarded, and I don't understand everything like how you understand stuff. So again, I did what I did, and there was no, I guess, no reason for me to do that. But I felt backed against the wall. I felt no one was listening to me, and I felt not being heard, and I just felt I'm not being helped, and I thought that the system is supposed to not only penalize you, but to help you, at least listen to you, and I didn't feel that was going on with me.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Johnson? Good afternoon. I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is courtroom 1, session 2. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Adam Scholl with Office of Public Defender.
Liz Guadalupe on behalf of the state.
Thank you. I wanted to just go back for a second on Mr. Johnson's case. He is on probation in Seminole County for second-degree murder. So I'm not understanding why he doesn't have a 5-day hold for a violent felony offender of special concern.
Oh, Irvin Johnson.
And I have the affidavit for violation of probation in the Seminole County case that was signed on October 2nd of this year. So he should definitely have a hold. Okay. I don't know, maybe it's because of the aliases. Because the case number or the case name on the VOP is under his alias, Youssef Furquan, but that's him.
Usually under the DOC website would highlight if it's a bad vehicle or special concern. It's not. What I could do is email the supervisor for the DOC.
This is from the Seminole County.
it's not listed, you would,
So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. All right, and then before we get started, actually, is the interpreter on the line?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead and do the Spanish cases then. And Robin, I think what happened before too, because when he came in, when Judge Wish saw him at the beginning of the month, I think maybe I saw the face sheet that was presented at that first appearance and it was blank. So that maybe because of the alias that it's blank.
no, it still should pop over, even under the DOC suite, it usually highlights if it's there. I'm gonna send an email.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
The deputies. Right, the deputies handle it, and they have a key. He says. He can go after school. Your Honor.
Yes?
Question.
Sure.
Would you like to do Ms. Dickerson now or after Spanish?
After Spanish.
After Spanish. We'll go after Spanish. After.
You want, I should dispatch, let me just. They don't tell me what it is, Spanish.
Well, that's what I told him myself.
Do we have everyone ready?
Well, he said, they said, they speak English, but they ask for Spanish interpreter.
We have other Spanish cases.
Right.
Okay.
I have them made.
Are they coming out?
She can have a seat. I'm ready.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the inmate, the Spanish cases.
We're
We're ready, yeah, we're ready.
That part. Yes, ma'am.
Is that?
We're gonna get through today, one way or the other. All right, Madam Interpreter, this is the first Spanish case. Sir, good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
My name is Oscar Ventura Ballinas.
I'm sorry, tell me your name again, sir.
Oscar Ventura Ballinas.
Is this gentleman bonded?
We didn't have them responded.
Okay. You've already posted your bond, sir. You'll be released today. Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Please tell me your name.
Juan Cadalcho.
Juan Cadalcho.
Good afternoon. This is 19MM974. You were arrested.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. If the interpreter may please request that Your Honor approaches the microphone.
Yep. Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Sure. Sir, you were arrested for resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You also have 19MM975. You were arrested for battery. And you have 19MM976 where you were arrested for battery. There is probable cause for all the offenses. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond in 19MM 974 is 500. Your bond in 19MM 975 is 100. And your bond in 19MM 976 is 100. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms, and you're not to have any contact with the victims. Thank you, sir. Sir, good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Porfirio Gomez Gomez.
Sir, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Hillsborough County related to a battery on a security officer and criminal mischief. Hillsborough County will come and pick you up, and you will see a judge when you get there. There is no bond at this time. And Mr. Gomez Gomez, you also have an immigration hold. Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Marcos Antonio Juárez. Marcos Antonio Juárez.
Lardos Antonio Juarez.
Sir, this is 19 CF 14819. You were arrested for tampering in a felony, second-degree proceeding, false imprisonment, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, battery, domestic violence, and criminal mischief. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. You are to maintain a separate residence. You're also to surrender any firearms within 24 hours of your release. Sir, did you read the no contact order before you signed it? This form here that you signed, did you read it before you signed it?
No.
I see you shaking your head, yes. You read the form? Sir, can you not hear?
Sí, lo leí.
Yes, yes, I did.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions about the form?
No, todo.
No, everything's fine.
Okay. This time, bond on count 1 is $1,500. Bond on count 2 is going to be $25,000. Bond on count 3 will be $1,500. Bond on count 4 is $100. Bond on count 5 is $100. 100? Thank you, sir. Is Liz Ortiz here as well?
Yes, ma'am.
She's in the back. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I have hers as well? Oh, that doesn't make sense. Why don't we go get her paperwork and we'll do those together? All right. Do I have, oh, we have a couple more of Spanish anyway, right? Okay, so we'll finish up the Spanish, sir. And then we'll do yours at the end when we go get Lou's and do yours together at the same time. So I'll just have you have a seat in the back for a moment. Ma'am, good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Morales Flor.
Morales Flor.
Ma'am, you're here in case number 19MM8775. You were arrested for battery and resisting officer without violence. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I do find probable cause as to count 1. I do not find probable cause as to count 2. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You speak English?
A little bit.
Do you want to use the interpreter?
Do
Okay.
better.
All right. Madam Interpreter, you interpret for the witness as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And then Erwin, can you swear him in for me? Thank you.
Raise your right hand.
Levanta la mano derecha, señor.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jura y promete que el testimonio que darás será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad. ¿Lo jura ante Dios?
Sí, lo juro.
Yes, I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Pues, señor, diga su nombre para que conste en el acta y ya puede bajar la mano.
Javier Rodríguez Santiago.
Javier Rodríguez Santiago.
Mr. Santiago, what is your relationship to Ms. Morales?
Señor Santiago, ¿qué relación tiene usted con la señora Morales?
Es mi pareja. Vivimos
She's my
juntos.
partner. We live together.
And do you want to have contact with her?
¿Usted quiere tener contacto con ella?
Sí.
Yes.
Are you afraid of her?
¿Usted le tiene miedo a ella?
No.
No.
How long have you been in a relationship with Ms.
¿Cuánto
Morales?
tiempo hace que usted y la señora Morales tienen una relación?
Alrededor de 2 años y medio a 3.
It's been about 2.5 years, maybe 3.
Okay. And in the course of your relationship, have there been any other instances of violence between the two of you?
A lo largo de esta relación, ¿han ocurrido otros incidentes de violencia entre ustedes dos?
No.
No.
Okay. State, any questions?
No, Your Honor. It is, however, the state's recommendation that the victim has no contact with the defendant just based on the facts of the case and the nature of the offense.
Okay. Mr. Shaw?
I have no questions, Your Honor. If I may follow up, though, from what the state stated, Your Honor?
Sure, go ahead.
At this point in time, contact, no hostility, I believe is the best approach, taking into consideration it's a misdemeanor, and also to the alleged victim at this point wanted to have contact with her, and also stated there was nothing that, this had never occurred in the past either, Your Honor.
At this time, I'm going to order, ma'am, that you're not to have any hostile contact with Mr. Santiago. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
Okay. You're also not to possess any weapons or any firearms. And at this time, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. Ma'am, they're going to give you a court date when you leave the jail. You need to make sure that you keep that and you show back up to court if the state of Florida files charges. Otherwise, there will be a warrant issued for your arrest. I'm also going to order that you contact your attorney within 24 hours of your release. Mr. Scholl's going to give you a piece of paper there with the contact information for his office, so you do need to contact them within 24 hours of your release. Do you have any questions?
No, everything's fine.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Any questions, sir?
No.
Señor, ¿alguna pregunta?
No.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, it's family? Okay, thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Miguel Lix.
Was that all the Spanish?
Yeah, the victim, I guess, needed the interpreter.
Is there a victim here?
Oh, well, who needed the Spanish interpreter?
You're Miguel Lis Gomez?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any witnesses here on this matter? On Miguel Lis Gomez? No? It's just family. Okay, all right. We do have that one case, though, that we need to recall that has the co-defendants. All right.
We actually brought him from, they brought him two, because they told us
No, I'll just keep it. That's fine. Thank you. All right. You're Ms. Ortiz?
Yes.
Okay, do you need the interpreter?
No.
Okay. A copy of what? Okay. All right, so I'm going to begin with you, Mr., is it Adrian Opaz? Is that correct?
Adriano Paz.
Adrian Opaz.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you were arrested in 19 MM 8750 for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Ma'am, good afternoon. You're Liz Ortiz?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to have contact with Mr. Adrian Opaz?
I'm fine with that, yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
How long have you been in a relationship?
10 years.
10 years?
Yes.
And in the course of the 10 years that you've been together, have there been any other instances of violence between the two of you?
Arguments.
Nothing physical? Okay. Mr. Opaz, I'm going to ask you the same questions because, Ms. Ortiz, you were arrested in 19 CF 14960 for aggravated battery with a weapon, domestic violence, for which there is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Mr. Adrian Opaz, did you want to have contact with Ms. Ortiz?
Yes.
Okay. Are you afraid of her?
No.
All right. And during the course of your relationship, have there been any other instances of violence between the two of you?
Discusiones como siempre, pero nada.
Arguments, as usual, but nothing.
Okay.
Como toda pareja.
State, did you have any questions?
No, Your Honor, no questions. Just once again, just, it is a state recommendation that no contact be ordered.
Okay. At this time, I'm going to order that there is to be no contact between the two of you. You are to maintain a separate residence, and you're both not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Mr. Adrian Opaz, I'm going to set your bond, sir, at $500 or pretrial release if you qualify. Same with you, Ms. Ortiz. I'm going to set your bond at $500 or PTR if you qualify.
Okay, being that we have both, victim and defendant, they both have the same address.
Right.
So could you ask which one would be allowed to go stay at the residence? That way we just do straight PTR for them, and with the other one, I can
Okay.
just inquire as far as noise.
Okay. Do you all know who's going to be staying at the house and who might be staying with someone else?
I would be staying at the house, and if he has nowhere else to go, he could stay at the house if you deem so.
But you can't stay there together. Because you
Yeah.
can't have any contact.
I'll be staying at the house.
You're staying at the house? Okay, Mr. Adrian Opaz, do you have another address of a family member or friend you could stay with?
No tengo familia acá.
I don't have any family here.
Okay. Coworker, friend?
No.
No.
All right.
Compañeros de trabajo míos son de China, de otro. Diferente. No.
My coworkers are from China, from different countries.
Okay.
Your
Yep,
Honor,
I did bond or PTR. Yes, ma'am.
just wanted to share, we also share the card for work.
Okay. Yeah, I can't help you with those issues
I know, I'm
today.
just saying, you know.
Yeah, I do. Okay, well, thank you. Pardon me? Yep. Oh. All right, and I believe that is the last Spanish case, is that correct? No other Spanish cases? All right, Madam Interpreter, I believe that's all. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Your Honor. Have a good afternoon.
You too. All right. All right, then do we have Mr. Nolly? Is that right? Ms. Dickerson's case? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge.
This is 19 CF 14959, Nolly Edwards.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. The order indicates, I guess this is reset for 24 hours regarding probable cause. Mr. Gerson, can you tell me what the argument was?
Well, the argument was that the officer had written in the four corners of the affidavit that he watched Mr. Edwards get in the car from the place where he left, followed him a short distance across Westmoreland to the place where he parked, and he never lost sight of the defendant. He also indicates in his report that he watched Mr. Edwards get out of the vehicle, watched all of his movements, watched him manipulate his head wrap and things of that nature, and never saw him make any attempt to conceal any items under the car. Furthermore, as Mr. Charles was walking towards the trunk of his car, and as the officer seemed to be walking up, he noticed from the, I guess as he was approaching on the sidewalk, he had noticed the white object underneath the car. Just the case law is pretty clear. Mere proximity to an item is not going to be sufficient to transfer knowledge, dominion, control, anything of that nature. Judge Higbee had mentioned yesterday the finding of the knife with the alleged cocaine residue on it, but at that time, Mr. Edwards had already left from the scene and gone into a residence because the officer even indicated that it was a consensual encounter, which Mr. Edwards terminated, and he walked away into a residence. And then after they pulled this item out from underneath the car, that's when they went back to get him, and then that's when they saw the knife. They never indicated that they saw anything clipped to his belt while he was getting out of the vehicle or anything like that. So Judge Higbee had advised the state to get a supplemental arrest affidavit to make a finding of probable cause for the trafficking. because the trafficking is based on the substance that was under the car.
Right, okay, State, did you have an additional affidavit?
Your Honor, I'm looking for it right now. Give me one moment.
Okay.
Your Honor, I see the affidavit here that was filed on the 26th of October. I'm not sure if there is a supplemental one. I'm looking for it right now. Your Honor, I do not see a supplemental affidavit in the system.
Did Judge Higbee find that there was not PC in the affidavit?
That's correct. And that she was giving the state 24 hours to supplement it.
All right, I'm gonna go back and listen to the hearing from yesterday, because I want to hear what was actually said on the record. Because I do think that there's PC in the affidavit. It says, I mean, I'm not saying that there could be a conviction, which is a different standard. Reasonable doubt is a completely different standard, but reasonable, or probable cause is just, could a reasonable person conclude that the crime had been committed and that it was the person who committed it? And it says that. He had furtive movements upon exiting the vehicle, that the bag of cocaine was dry and it had been raining less than 5 minutes before the stop. And there was no one else around. But I'm gonna go back and listen to the audio to make sure that Judge Higbee found that there was no PC. I'm not sure if I can go back and say that there is. But the state, you don't have any additional information today?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right.
Would you like me to stand down for a couple minutes?
Sure, I'm gonna finish the docket and then I'm gonna go back because I have to pull it up on my computer in my chambers. But if you wanna wait, you can, but I'm gonna finish the rest of the docket first.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am, good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Adams.
Ms. Adams, you were here 19 CF 14983. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with Natasha Atkinson. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Your bond is $2,500, ma'am. Thank you. Did Bianca Guerrero bond?
What's the name?
Bianca Guerrero?
We have her.
Oh, we do?
Should be group of names next.
All right. And then, did you stick Mr. Liz Gomez at the end?
Yes.
Okay. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
O'Neal Goodman.
All right, Mr. Goodman. Sir, you were here in 19 CF 14984. You were arrested for possession of ecstasy. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond, sir, is going to be $1,000. I'm not going to take any action on your out on bond case at this time, sir. Thank you.
This is Guerrero.
Oh, thank you. Ma'am, good afternoon. Your name?
Guerrero, Bianca Guerrero.
Ms. Guerrero, this is 19 CF 14978. You were arrested for burglary of a dwelling and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. At this time, there is not probable cause for either of the offenses. State, are you requesting 24 hours to provide probable cause information?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, that'll be granted. At this time, I'll say the bond on each count, $5,000 on count 1 and $750 on count 2. Oh, wait, ma'am, you also, oh, I don't know where she can't return to. I don't have anything else. Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name? Hersey, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. This is 19 CF 14985. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time, sir.
What does that mean, ma'am?
It means that you're going to be released from the jail. You won't have to post a monetary bond, but you will be, he's not qualified? Oh, I misread the face sheet. The yes is in a different spot. Okay. I apologize, Mr. Hersey. Your bond is actually going to be $1,000. And you have reporting requirements when you are released from the jail, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Robin. Good afternoon. Your name?
Yes.
Mr. Lopez, you're here in 19 CF 14993. You were arrested for contributing to the delinquency of a minor criminal mischief and grand theft of a stop sign. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are going to be placed on pretrial release. You're going to have a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. You are also going to be subject to random urinalysis through pretrial release. Thank you, sir. Oh, what? Oh, 9 to 6. 9 p. to 6 a. Good afternoon. Your name?
Jewel Lynn.
Miss Lynn, this is 19 CF 14986. You were arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. She didn't qualify for PJR? Okay. Bond on count 1 will be $1,000. Bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Stephen Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, this is 19MM 977. You were arrested for battery. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with Melford Myrie. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Bond will be $500. I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond case at this time. Good afternoon. Your name?
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Robert Boyd, ma'am.
Mr. Boyd, this is 19MM 980. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Mr. Boyd, did you want to resolve your case this morning or
Yes,
this
ma'am.
afternoon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I need you to sign the plea form, please. Mr. Boyd, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up on the form?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 1 day time served. You will have to pay court costs. Those are due by October 28th of 2020. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Mr. Boyd, you're going to kill yourself.
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually working on getting help right now.
Okay, I
So
hope that you
thank you
do.
for that, because if I would have,
You're lucky they came. You might not be standing right there. I hope that you do.
yes, ma'am. Thank you for the 1 day, because if that means I can get out today, I'm working on getting a bed, like, upon my release.
Okay, where are you going to go?
I'm trying to go to, La Amistad, I believe it's called.
Okay. You have family that's going to help you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, good luck, Mr. Boyd. I hope I don't see you back. I'm not going to take any action on your out on bond cases at this time.
Thank you so much.
All right.
That means I can go home,
You'll
right?
be going home
Thank
today.
you so much, ma'am.
I hope you go get the help that you need.
Yes, ma'am. The court dates are?
That's true, Mr. Boyd. If you are in treatment, you have those 2 cases that are pending. You make sure you stay in contact with your lawyer so that they know where you are. You don't want to miss court because you're in treatment and then get a failure to appear, okay? So make sure you're in contact with them.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
know where you are.
Thank you.
Good morning. Or
Good morning,
afternoon.
ma'am.
Your name?
Greg Gully.
Mr. Gully, you are here in 19 MM 8773. You were arrested for loitering or prowling. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. Did you want to resolve your case this afternoon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I need you to sign the plea form, please. Mr. Gully, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today? All right, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 1 day time served. You're not to return to 1620 Rock Lake Drive. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, your name?
Walter Mirabal.
Mr. Mirabal, you are here in 19 MM 8772. You were arrested for criminal mischief. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You can't go back to 189 South Orange Avenue, which is the Plaza parking garage. And your bond is $500, sir. Oh, I see that. Actually, I'll place you on pretrial release, Mr. Marabell.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, sir. You were Mr. Liz Gomez?
Yes.
All right, this is 19 MM 971. You were arrested for stalking, dating violence, and battery dating violence. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with Ariana Flores. You are to maintain a separate residence. You're not to go within 500 feet of her home or school. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs or possess any weapons or firearms. You're not to return to the scene of the offense. Your bond on count 1 will be $1,000. Your bond on count 2 is $500. Sir, do you have any questions about the no contact order?
No.
Did you read it before you signed it?
Yes.
Okay.
I read it before.
All right, thank you, sir. And then we have from this morning, Anthony Williams, 19 MM 7691. It was a 33-day motion that you requested extra time on?
Yes, Your Honor. Is it possible to reset this? I'm still waiting on the documentation.
No.
No,
The
okay.
motion, yeah. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to have the information when the hearing is actually called.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just received it. I'm so sorry. One moment. Yeah, Your Honor, I just have the copies here of the administrative order and the information that was filed.
Okay, so there was an information filed in 19 MM 7691?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, when was it filed?
The request for administrative transfer is dated October 25th, and the information of the felony, the petty theft 2 prior, was filed the 25th as well.
Okay, do you have an ID number on there?
ID number, I'm sorry, Your Honor, the information was filed today. ID. Would that be at the beginning of the page?
It should say the filing ID.
It says filed in OCC Criminal, October 28th, 2019 at 8:36 a.m.
Okay, so that's the timestamp?
Yeah.